So this time we're taking a look at, from the Marvel Universe Thor movie series figures, we're taking a look at the Warriors 3. I figured I'd do them all together in one review since they're so inseparable. I should mention that these come to me through the wary eye of Aetherus69, who was on the lookout for them for me, and he found them and sent them out to me. So thanks a lot, Aetherus69. And first, we're going to take a look at Hogun, or Hogun the Grim. And there you see the little write-up and his little weapon that he comes with, which is actually pretty cool for these gimmicky weapons. And you can see other figures in this wave. All these figures are pretty nicely detailed. And he's got this little cloak with a hood that I'm sure you can take off if you pop off his head. But I'm not going to do that. I guess first we'll take a look at his accessories. Take a look at his gimmicky weapon first of all. Now it's an axe, and it looks to be like a pretty huge axe. It's also got a little handle there, so I guess he can have an extra little grip there for wielding it. But as you can see in the picture, it converts into two small blades which he can dual wield. Very nice design. I like it. It's one of the few gimmick weapons that actually works, because it works as an axe and it's pretty solid in this state. What would Hogun be without the mace, that his trademark mace? And it is a little bit rubbery and misshapen. It was misshapen in the package. It's still a little bit bent out of shape, but nice little inclusion there. Now I like his armor is less, I guess, Nordic and influenced more as if he were a samurai, and you know, but it still fits in with the whole Asgardian look. Nice little paint details here. There are a little bit of paint slops you can see right here, but generally it's a good job. He's got pretty much the standard articulation for these figures. His arms do go up and down. They don't go all the way around because of the cape here, but he swivels and bends at the elbow and rotates at the wrist. He's got upper torso articulation, left and right somewhat, and forward and back very nicely. Hips, he's got that nice hip system where you can bend it and rotate the thigh to get lots of poses. Very nice. Double knee joint, and he rotates and bends slightly at the ankle. And of course his head goes left and right and slightly up and down. Next we'll take a look at Fandral, the Dashing. You can see his right up and his launching harpoon gimmick weapon. Of course, the most ridiculous out of all of these weapons. Of course, you hit the button and it fires off this thing, and he's left with this weird little thing there. That's ridiculous and awful. But fortunately, he comes with his sword, and as you can see, that's pretty bent as well in the packaging. Um, but it's very nice. It's got this nice little finger guard, and it does fit into his scabbard. There we go. Unfortunately, it doesn't lie quite flat, so it is kind of in the way, and it bends out the blade at the right close to the hilt. So I don't like to keep it in there. It may straighten out this part of the blade, but bend the hilt in, out like that. So I just keep it in his hand, and he holds it pretty well. His little cape does come off. It's not really attached or pegged in. It just sits on his shoulders there. But you can see maybe he'll throw that off in the midst of battle to be able to move better. A nice sculpt. He's got that smirky look on there. Very Errol Flynn, of course. Nice paint on him as well. You can see the armor as gold and kind of this gray. He's got this breastplate that's gold, silver, and this bronze. Very nice. He's got the green. Very different than the blue that is in the picture there. Which you might also notice that Hogun is black instead of blue in some places on the compared to the figure in the picture. So for articulation, his arm goes all the way around, bends and rotates at the elbow, although he is limited due to the sculpt of this his armor piece here on his forearm. His wrists rotate. He's got nice head articulation left and right, a little bit up and down. Got upper torso articulation left and right, forward and back. Hips. Unfortunately, it seems like his hips are stuck into position, and I don't want to play around with it and have him break, but he does still rotate at the upper thigh. He's got the double knee joints, and his feet rotate and bend forward and back at the ankles. One other thing is that this arm, like the hip joints, seems to be stuck into position. I can't budge it anyway. I've tried lots of different ways, cutting around it, maybe cutting off plastic that was in the way, heating it up. It's permanently stuck in this position. I don't know if it's just my figure or if that's a problem with all the Fandrals. Finish this out with a look at Volstagg the Valiant, and there you see his his gimmick weapon, and a little bit less ridiculous than Fandral's, but still pretty ridiculous. He's got this like battering ram, and I guess you would hit into doors or whatever, and then you would press in and it would rip them apart with these blades. But what I do notice is it does have this neat little ram design built into the weapon, so it looks like a ram's head. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, I don't like it as much as the Hogun's weapon, but fortunately he does come with the weapon that he has in the movie, his axe. And pretty cool axe too. It's like this double-bladed axe, but it's got 4 blades. Very neat design and very good sculpt. Uh, Again, nice painting work with the silver lines and the gold lines all over the figure. Overall, very nice, detailed. You can see pieces where cloth is sewn together. And for articulation, his head goes left and right and up and down. And he's probably got the most head movement out of all of these guys. Which is funny because he's got a beard and a little ponytail in the back there. But they are made of soft plastic, so they will get out of the way. His arms go all the way around, out to the side, bend and rotate at the elbow. He's got a rotation at the wrist. He's got upper torso articulation, left and right, forward and back. His legs have that hip joint, but it is this little piece of his armor does get in the way of posability a little bit, but you can still rotate his thighs, upper thighs. He's got double knee joints, and he rotates and bends at the ankle. Unfortunately, his leg was a little bit warped in the packaging, and so he doesn't quite stand too well. I don't know if you can see how his leg should be just a little bit more out to the side like that. Instead it's bent in. It was a little bit more severe, but I've fixed it some. So just a warning, it might be my figure, or it could be all of them. I don't know if anybody else has come across that problem, but just be aware of that. So that'll be it for the Warriors 3. I'm still going to be on the lookout for 2 more, maybe 3 more figures. I'm hoping to get a destroyer, either the Fire Blast or the regular one, and Sif, and maybe the armored Loki from the finale. But again, they're pretty hard to find, so who knows. So stay tuned for more Marvel Universe figures, and until my next video, I'll see you.